Today, a victory for evidence-based politics, with California Governor Jerry Brown signing a mandatory school vaccination bill that eliminates a personal belief exemption that up until today left many California children at risk of catching and spreading a number of different diseases. Now, under California law, children would not be able to enroll in public school unless they've been vaccinated against diseases like measles and whooping cough. There are still some exemptions, of course. An exemption for children who have a medical reason to remain unvaccinated, like an immune system disorder, and can prove it with a doctor's note. Now, parents who decline to vaccinate their children for personal or religious reasons will have to homeschool them or send them to a public independent study program off school grounds. For those who are already in the public school system, they will have up until the 7th grade to make that decision, and then they will have to choose to vaccinate or to homeschool their children for the rest of that period. Now, we are talking about a significant number of children who will be affected by this change. In the fall of 2014, almost 3% of California kindergartners were unvaccinated because of personal belief. Preschools in the most affluent areas are also the least likely to vaccinate. Now, what that means is that we're not talking about just sort of knee-jerk Christian Scientist reaction to fears about vaccination. We're talking about, in many cases, affluent, well-educated liberals who are choosing not to vaccinate their children because, in my view, they have read some extremely poorly written and poorly researched science. Now, overall, let's take a look at the country, the number of different exemptions. California joining just 2 other states and having no exemptions there. They mean not religious, not philosophical. And you're seeing a combination of the two across the rest of the country. So for most of America, you still can choose to opt out of vaccination, although you should understand that comes with very significant risks both for your children and for the children around them. And let's not forget, just last December at Disneyland, an outbreak of measles, quite significant. Since then, 160 people across the country have been diagnosed with measles. Again, these vaccinations cover other diseases as well, but that is the principal one that these vaccines can guard against. And overall, I am for all sorts of different freedoms when they don't infringe on others' rights or safety. In this case, in the case of vaccines, they clearly do. That's what the science shows us. And so kudos to Jerry Brown and California for looking at the evidence, following the science, and listening to the scientists and doctors who know best about an issue that is quite literally life or death. That's my final judgment.